Errol the Truth Spence Jr. willing to bypass a hometown Dallas fight for Danny Garcia. Stay tuned. Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. Thank you to the super chats, the donations, the Patreons. We working. Now, Errol Spence Jr., new IBF champion. He went overseas to do it. Went to the UK, stopped Kell Brook, made him pretty much do a no mas and quit, broke him down after losing some of those early rounds. So all eyes on what's next for a lot of people at the welterweight division. Danny Garcia, he had a March unification fight, came up short versus Keith Thurman. He and his father, I know his father for sure, disputes it. So Errol Spence had some interesting things to say. He says, everyone at home is behind me and supporting me. Hopefully I fight in Dallas, but if not, if a Danny Garcia fight happens or something like that, then I'm willing to fight outside of Dallas, but hopefully I can get a fight in Dallas in my next fight. So he's telling you that he wants the hometown fight. He traveled overseas to take Kell Brook's belt, and he did it, and he was successful. So he probably talked to Heyman or whatnot and his team, and they said, yeah, you deserve a hometown fight. So he's saying what could trump that or supersede that is a fight with Danny Garcia. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on this video. Of course, I would love to see Danny Garcia versus Errol Spence Jr. I think it's a great fight. Do I think it will happen next? Absolutely not. I don't think it's going to happen. And I'm not going to say Danny Garcia is scared, but at the end of the day, he just came off of a loss to Keith Thurman. Errol Spence has momentum and is now a champion. So, I don't know. I just don't really see him and his team putting him in there right next with Danny Garcia. If anything, I think they would rather fight Keith Thurman again, which they already have 12 rounds in the can with. You know what I mean? People want to fight the style that they like. You know what I mean? Pacquiao would probably rather fight Bradley or Jeff Horn as opposed to Terrence Crawford next. You know what I mean? Because he's already familiar with Jeff Horn and Bradley. Terrence Crawford, he don't know what he's going to do in there. So from a business perspective, I don't think it'll happen. And that's just my honest opinion. Do I want it to happen? Will I support it and encourage it to happen? Sure. But, you know what I mean? I'm not the one pulling the strings behind the careers of different fighters. I would love to see it. I think Errol Spence deserves whatever he wants next because he did what he was supposed to do. People said, hey, you don't got no one on your resume. You ain't fought nobody of this caliber. So he did that. And he did it in that person's backyard, and he stopped him. Kell Brook didn't even get knocked down by Golovkin. A lot of people like brush over this and say what would have happened. You really don't know what would have happened in the Gennady-Golovkin fight because it didn't happen. It happened how it happened. You know what I mean? The corner threw in the towel. They seen enough. But up until that point in the 5th round or whatnot, Golovkin didn't knock down Kell Brook. Now, again, you can say, oh, my theory and I believe, but nobody can conclusively say what would have happened because it didn't happen and it ended right then and there. You know what I'm saying? So as it sits, until they rematch, which they probably won't, Errol Spence did something Golovkin couldn't do. You know what I mean? And you could even argue like, oh, the Golovkin beating hurt Brook's confidence, but he came out in those early rounds. To me, he didn't look like a man who was suffering a lack of confidence. So you got to give all the credit in the world to Errol Spence. Again, Danny Garcia, I love that fight. Don't think it will happen. Another indication is just look what the fighters say. Danny Garcia, after Jeff Horn, after the fiasco with Manny Pacquiao, and he beat him, I seen Jeff Horn take to his social media, and he says, oh, how about Jeff? Somebody tweeted him, like, hey, what'd you think or whatever, and he posted on his Instagram, and he said, Danny Garcia versus Jeff Horn, anybody? What y'all think? Make it happen. However, Errol Spence said, I like to fight these guys, Pacquiao, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, and nobody really, I didn't see people respond, and I cover boxing. So that's another indication that it probably won't happen because Errol Spence did the same thing. Jeff Horn called out Mayweather. We know that's not happening. You know what I mean? And now I see a whole bunch of people calling out Jeff Horn, like, yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that fight. I'll take that. But when Errol Spence did the same thing and says, I'm ready for whoever, anybody can get it, man down, man down, I didn't see a bunch of people jumping. So we already know what time it is. I believe that fighters feel like there's more of a game plan to beat Jeff Horn based on his style and his what he does right versus what he does wrong, his vulnerabilities, than there is Errol Spence. I'm not saying he's untouchable or he can't be beaten, but I am saying that if you were in the division, I mean, I'll be real with, even if it was myself, if I was the fighter and I was in the welterweight division, I would look at Jeff Horn as more food than Errol Spence. Errol Spence is some work, even if you think you can beat him. You know what I mean? Jeff Horn, there was a lot of holes in his game. I mean, he was a dead man on death row in round 9. You know what I mean? We haven't seen Errol Spence like that. We've heard the urban legends about him giving black eyes to Floyd Mayweather and stopping the Broner fight in sparring. You know what I'm saying? So right now, the bottom line is Errol Spence has a lot of momentum, and his vulnerabilities haven't shown through. Some people say this and that, but they haven't shown through in the same fashion as like a Jeff Horn. And besides, Jeff Horn has 16 fights or so. Errol Spence has more than that, and he has a better total resume, because I understand Pacquiao, you get a lot of credit for fighting Pacquiao, but he's still 40-year-old Pacquiao, and that's the only name. Randall Bailey, you know what I mean? That doesn't beat Leonard Bundu and Chris Algieri at this point. So I want to see it. I would love to see it. I would encourage it, but I think Errol Spence will probably end up getting a Dallas hometown fight, more likely than Team Garcia saying, hey, we want to go after a title shot against that. Like I said, if they're going to go after a title shot, I think they would try to go after Jeff Horn, who is perceived as the weakest link in the division, because anytime you're the newest champion with the least amount proven, you're going to be considered the weakest link. That's just how the game goes, right? And the other person is a person he shared the ring with for 12 rounds, so maybe he could watch tape and stuff. Danny Garcia don't have no tape of him and Errol Spence Jr., so I think he would probably go after one of those champions first. But this is just my speculation. If Danny Garcia says, Errol Spence, you're next, then great, I'll support it. Let me know your thoughts, drop it in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.